thanks to Commonwealth Attorney Ann Baskerville in her efforts to be transparent before the video or the videos will be released to the public. She gave the family the courtesy to watch the video first to try to gather themselves for when the public gets the video, and they are then going to be overcome with family members, friends, not only here in the state of Virginia, not only here in the United States of America, but from their native land of Kenya. And the family is very grateful to her and her office for that accommodation. What we just viewed on the videos leading to the death of Irvo was a commentary on how inhumane law enforcement officials treat people who are having a mental health crisis as criminals, rather than treating them as people who are in need of help. I mean, it was inhumane when you see how they treated Irvo. He, in the videos, are never confrontational with them. He is not posing a threat to them. He's not violent or aggressive with them. You see in the video, he is restrained with handcuffs. He has leg irons on. And you see in the majority mark of the video that he seems to be in between lifelessness and unconsciousness. But yet, you see him being restrained so brutally with knee on his neck, the weight of 7 individuals on his body, while he's face down, handcuffed with leg irons. And you say, my God, why? It is so unnecessary. It's so unjustifiable. And you keep searching in your heart for which one of them will have the humanity to say that 11 minutes is far too long to have him down with the weight of our bodies and knees on his neck. It's far too long. It borders on intentionally trying to inflict some great harm on him, and you say, for what? For what? I mean, you got him. He's handcuffed. He got leg irons on. If you just left the room and left him in there, there is no danger posed to anyone. So why do you have to be so brutal to Caroline's baby boy? This was a mental health crisis. He wasn't committing a crime. His mother, even when they came on that Friday, she told them about his mental health and that she believed he was having a crisis, and how she hugged him to try to keep him safe. But they took them away from her, and she couldn't protect them anymore. They were tone deaf, as she said, as she pleaded with them at the hospital on Friday. She pleaded with them, let me see my child. I can help the situation, but they never let her see him. She never saw her son alive again in person from that Friday when they took him away from her, as she hugged him like a mama bear trying to protect him from people who did not see the humanity in her son. And you say, why? When you see the video, you ask yourself, if that was your child, would you want them to treat your child who's having a mental health crisis in the manner that they treated Irvo? And so, when we think about the tragic killing of George Floyd, you say, why would any law enforcement officer put a knee on the neck of a person who is face down, handcuffed, and restrained? Why would anybody not have enough common sense to say, we've seen this movie before? If we continue to put pressure and weight and a knee while a person is in a prone position, we know how this movie is going to end. Why did they let this episode of these videos end in the similar manner that we saw it end with George Floyd? A lifeless human being who is handcuffed and restrained, who was not posing a threat, was not being violent, was only trying to live, only trying to live another day. Why would they do this to him? And so we're here with his family to say, we're better than this, America. We are better than this. And we have to change laws. We have to prevent anybody else's child from being taken from this earth the way Caroline's child was taken from this earth, by the people who were supposed to care, by the people who were supposed to extend the benefit of consideration, the benefit of their professionalism, but most importantly, the benefit of their humanity for a fellow human being. Forget all this stuff about he's a detainee. He is a human being.
That's right.
He's in your custody. And if we learned anything from the trial of the killers of George Perry Floyd, when he's in your custody, he's in your care. So you all are going to get to see that commentary in the very near future. There are going to be many questions that Caroline and Leon had. You will have many questions. We have to answer those questions together as brothers and sisters, children of God, that Irvo deserved better than what he got. At this time, I have the pleasure of having my co-counsel, who's one of the best civil rights lawyers in the state of Virginia, has represented dozens of families whose civil rights and constitutional rights have been violated by law enforcement. Many wrongful death, 1983 civil rights lawsuits right here in Virginia. He is a champion for justice, and I am very proud to represent this family with attorney Mark Crudis. He will address you before the family address you, and then we will try to take your questions. But Attorney Crudis has been from the inception of this tragedy, documenting every aspect of it, and he's going to share with you the benefit of the information that he gathered even before watching the video. But watching the video frames it up with what he knew before we saw the video. And there's nobody better to break this down than